All right, Denton does believe in green energy. New Liberty Party does support protecting the environment from toxins. We do want to exact our drilling, and we do not want to mess with any of the Native American reservations in the New Liberty Party. So if they're Native American, we have to stay off their land and we cannot drill on it. We can't even negotiate with them. That land has to be kept beautiful. The last of all the land will be to the Native Americans. They'll retrieve it. So they will be able to have their land. This is Mean Green. It is the University of North Texas. It's where I graduated. It's the only college I've graduated from. I did not graduate from the New School University. The New School University was only a postgraduate program. I graduated from the University of North Texas with a Bachelor of Arts. I believe you can say Bachelor of Arts. And I did emphasize in theater arts and acting. So it was a Bachelor of Arts in theater arts and an emphasis in acting. So that's why I do this instead of that. I didn't realize that that looked kind of Nazi. That's a little bit better. Right there. Faith, hope, love, and charity. That's what University of North Texas taught me. They taught me faith, hope, love, and charity. And so did Texas Wesleyan. And so did the New School University. They're all Christians. Yeah, the New York School, the New School University, also known as the New School of Social Research, most of them are Christian. There's a lot of Christians there. They do teach faith, hope, love, and charity, but they also teach to understand history and understand why we're right and why we're wrong. We try to understand that there is a world out there that's confused. I think Sean Baker nailed it by all his beliefs. Sean Baker, I totally 100%. I mean, I support 100%. I think all his movies are brilliant. Florida Project really did make my top 11 films of all time. We're talking films that Bergman made, films that Scorsese made, films that Spielberg made. Sean Baker made that list, and I'm sure he made the list for a lot of other people, because and movie lovers alike. He likes movies like RoboCop and stuff, which I don't hate RoboCop. Peter Weller went to the University of North Texas. He did go there. I told my mom when we were in the lobby of one of the convention areas, you know, they have convention centers and stuff. When we were there, I told my mom when we were at University of North Texas, I think it's like near the cafeteria. I told her, I said, Mom, Peter Weller went here. She goes, oh, really? Who's Peter Weller? I was like, he was RoboCop. She said, oh, okay. But I didn't know he was a trumpet major. Yeah, he was a music major at University of North Texas. Most all the music majors did well. There was also a guy named Don Henley, that went there. He was part of the Eagles, and he was in a band called the Eagles. If you've heard of them, they have a lot of different songs. Hotel California was one of their great hits and has made them famous as musicians. Desperado was something that Don Henley did later on. I think he might have had the help with the Eagles on that song, and it could be considered an Eagles song. But Don Henley was probably the writer of that song. Don Henley was a drummer. He was a drummer for the Eagles, but he also was a vocalist. And they went there to the University of North Texas. The Linden Cole member Cole Spivey, which is me. Hi. I went to the University of North Texas, and I did actually graduate. Yes, I graduated. I went there for 3 years. I graduated after 3 years. I went to Texas Wesleyan prior of that. I was top of my class at the University of North Texas. I was on what's known as the President's List. It's like the Dean's List, but it's higher up. I did not know about David Foster Wallace when I was at the University of North Texas. So I was not an English major. I was a theater arts major. But I did know about Sam Shepard. I didn't know about Annie Baker until later on. I learned about Annie Baker much later. We studied people like Grotowski, who's a director, and Jerzy Grotowski. Wallace Shawn mentions him in Dinner with Andre. You've got to see Dinner with Andre. It's a great film. It should be on my top 11. Wallace Shawn's amazing. There's a lot of hippies that went to the University of North Texas, but I think they should all be drug out of their tents and executed. I'm a stand-up comedian. Well, I am on YouTube. The reason why hippies are dangerous, listen, on the hippie issue, just get in touch with Sarah Silverman. She's got emails already about it. The hippie issue, they should be executed. She'll probably agree with me. We are going to form an alliance to execute all the hippies. So if you're a hippie, don't let me know. We're going to put poison in your water, and we're going to tie you up to a pole, and we're going to shoot an arrow in your throat, okay? No more hippies. We're done with it. Linda and Cole band is on the equivalence of Velvet Underground. Yeah, they hated hippies. Oh, they hated them. Now, Sean Baker, he ended up going to the New School University after I graduated from the University of North Texas and did my little stint in Hollywood, being a background artist. I knew USA Dan, if you know who USA Dan was. He was doing background work on Moonlight Mile with Dustin Hoffman and Jake Gyllenhaal. I met Jake Gyllenhaal from a distance. I waved. He didn't wave back, but I waved at him with my head. I kind of went like this. Just very, very slight. He did not respond. Dustin Hoffman looked at me. Yep, he did. He looked at me. I was one of their background artists, and I was practicing sense memory on set on Moonlight Mile when I was there in Hollywood. That's what I was practicing. And he was drinking a Heineken or a Beck's beer. Dustin Hoffman. Yep. He was basically on set with Jake Gyllenhaal. He met Jake Gyllenhaal. He goes, my boy, and gave him like a little kiss. Not a French kiss, but like a kiss on the cheek, and kind of fixed his jacket. And Jake Gyllenhaal said these words, don't I look good in this suit? And he was just a teenager. He was getting ready to do Moonlight Mile right then. Bradley Cooper was a nobody at this point. Yep. Bradley Cooper was absolutely nobody. He was getting ready to be somebody, though. I did that movie. I did The Majestic with Frank Darabont. I was directed by Frank Darabont. I was also directed by the director of Moonlight Mile, but I don't know his name. I'll figure it out later. Frank Darabont directed me. He walked up to me and gave me direction on the set of The Majestic right by the sign at the very beginning of the movie called Sand Pirates of Sahara, and I like vanish in that. I'm in it just for a minute. I also worked on set at 20th Century Fox for The X-Files, who Robert Patrick pointed me out, and I played his thermal basically I played a thermal version of Robert Patrick. You can see me in 3 words. It's it's season 8, episode 16, and The X-Files. I also was discovered by Drake Dormus at the Orange County Crazies, a Theater Diopatro in Santa Ana. And he cast me in a play called A House Divided. I played a deliverer. You know, like a grocery store deliverer? You know, like someone that brings you grocery store food, like packages from the grocery store and drops them off. I played a guy that goes in the house and makes friends with this high school kid named Donovan. He actually delivered groceries. In the play. There were groceries in the play. And I ate nuts. I think they were called corn nuts. Yeah, corn nuts. I ate corn nuts in the play. One time I rented a Honda, or it was like a Honda. No, it was a Honda. It was a Honda Accord. I rented it to get to Trinity Valley from ballet. I took ballet at University of North Texas when I was a theater arts major. I would leave ballet class, and I'd go about 110 down this highway trying to get to Trinity Valley on time. And I had a truck, but the truck broke down. I had a Ford truck with a camper. There's a camper on the back. My dad bought it for me. And the spark plugs came out of the truck from the front end where the engine was. I think it was 4 spark plugs that detached when I hit a bump at a grocery store. When I was driving, this is after Love Lizzo with Philip Seymour Hoffman, probably after that movie came out, or around that time, or maybe not around that time. It may not have been around that time. I don't know. I have to look at Love Lizzo with Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's one of my favorite movies. It should be on my list. I may add it to my list after this story. I would go to dance class in this little truck that had a cabin on it. It looked like a Ford or Chevy or something. My dad bought it for me. I think it was, I want to say it may have been a Chevy. I don't think it was a Ford. It was a little Chevrolet pickup truck with a cabin on the back. When I was driving, because I hit that bump at the grocery store and the spark plugs came out, I was driving and liquid was coming out liquid was coming out of the vents because I have the air on. It was gasoline. It was gasoline. And I couldn't breathe. So I rolled the window down, and there was so much gasoline. By the time that the vehicle broke down, somewhere between here and Trinity Valley, which is in Fort Worth, it was miles away. Probably more than 26, 27, about 30 miles away, or more, maybe 35 miles away. I finally broke down because I ran out of gas. I was approached by, it was back then they had these, they weren't police, but they were highway assistance people. They basically would drive around. If you ran out of gas, they would find you. And they would put gas in your vehicle to get you to the gas station. And I was up on one of these exits. One of them. Right there. See him? Okay. They basically put gas in my car, but before he had me start it, he said, I want to look at your engine. I opened the hood, and he saw that all 4 spark plugs were dangling. He said, your spark plugs came out. Because he was wondering why I ran out of gas. And he said, let me do this. And he just put them all on. Put all the spark plugs on. He said, you're good to go. I got in the vehicle and started it, and I was able to get to Trinity Valley. It was a little bit late, but I smelled like gasoline. There'd be a movie come out called Love Liza with Philip Seymour Hoffman, who is now dead.